The Hobbit.
In a hole in the ground, there lived a hobbit.
Yes, not a nasty, dirty, wet hole, nor yet a dry, sandy, bare hole. My hole was a hobbit hole, and that means comfort.
It had a perfectly round door painted green, which opened onto a tunnel-shaped hall with panelled walls and floors tiled and carpeted, and lots of pegs for hats and coats.
Well, I'm very fond of visitors, do you see?
And he was quite well-to-do.
Yeah, reasonably.
The long hall wound on and on, going into the side of the hill, and many little doors opened out of it. No going upstairs for the hobbit. Bedrooms, bathrooms, cellars, pantries, lots of these. Kitchens, dining rooms, all were on the same floor.
Yeah. By the way, my name is Baggins, B-A-G-G-I-N-S, Bilbo Baggins, and at your service and your families.
Yes, I suppose hobbits need some description nowadays, since they have become so rare. Hobbits are, or were, smaller than dwarves.
Oh, yes, I mean, we may be smaller than dwarves, but at least we don't have those silly beards.
Yes, they're inclined to be fat in the stomach.
Well built, I think.
Very well, very well. They're inclined to be well built. And dressed in bright colours, chiefly green and yellow. They wear no shoes because their feet grow natural leathery soles and thick brown hair like the stuff on their head, which is curly. They have long, clever brown fingers. Good-natured faces. And laugh deep, fruity laughs.
Especially after dinner.
Which they have twice a day when they can get it.
Yes. Yes, well, my mother was the famous Belladonna Took, one of the three remarkable daughters of the old Took, the head of the hobbits who lived across the water. And she met my father.
Yes. There is little or no magic about them. But it has always been said that long ago, one or other of the Tooks had married into a fairy family. Once in a while, members of the Took clan would go and have adventures.
Not, of course, that Belladonna Took ever had any adventures. I mean, after she married my father.
Although it is probable that Bilbo got something a bit strange in his makeup from the Took side. Something that only waited for a chance to come out. One morning, long ago, in the quiet of the world, Bilbo was standing at his door after breakfast, smoking an enormous, long wooden pipe that reached nearly down to his neatly brushed woolly toes, when Gandalf came by.
I saw an old man with a tall blue hat, a long grey cloak, a silver scarf over which his long white beard hung down below his waist, and immense black boots. The sun was shining, the grass was very green, and I was feeling extra friendly. So, all unsuspecting, I greeted the stranger cheerily. Good morning.
What do you mean? Do you wish me a good morning, or mean that it is a good morning, whether I want it or not? Or that you feel good this morning? Or that it is a morning to be good on?
Well, all of them at once. If you have a pipe about you, sit down, have a fill of my tobacco. There's no hurry. We've got all the day before us.
You may have all day, but I do not. I'm looking for someone to share in an adventure I'm arranging, and it's very difficult to find anyone.
Oh, so I should think in these parts. We are plain, quiet folk, and we have no use for adventures. Nasty, disturbing, uncomfortable things make you late for dinner. You might try over the hill or across the water. Good morning.
What a lot of things you do use good morning for. Now you mean that it won't be good until you've got rid of me.
No. Not at all. Not at all, my dear sir. No. Let me see. I do think I know your name.
Yes, my dear sir, but I know your name, Mr. Bilbo Baggins. I am Gandalf.
Gandalf, yes. Gandalf. Good gracious me. Not the man who used to make such particularly excellent fireworks. I remember those. Oh, I do. I do beg your pardon. I had no idea you were still in business.
Where else should I be? All the same, I'm pleased to find that you remember something about me, even if it is only my fireworks.
Well,
Indeed, for your old grandfather Took's sake, and for the sake of your mother Belladonna, I will give you what you asked for.
Oh. I beg your pardon? I haven't asked for anything.
Yes, you have. Twice now. My pardon. I give it to you.
Thank you very much.
I will go so far as to send you on this adventure. Very amusing for me.
No.
And very good for you. And profitable, too, very likely. If you ever get over it.
If I'd ever get... Oh, no. No, I'm sorry. I don't want any adventures. Thank you. Thank you very much. No, not today. Good morning.
I have already...
but please, come to tea. Come to tea, you know. I mean, any time you like. Why not come tomorrow? Yes, that's right. You come to tea tomorrow. Goodbye.
Gandalf was left standing outside. After a while, he stepped up, and with the spike on his staff, he scratched a sign on the Hobbit's green front door. Then, he strode away.
The next morning, I had almost forgotten about Gandalf. I don't remember things very well unless I put them down on my engagement tablet. The day before, I'd been too flustered to do anything of the kind. And it wasn't until just before tea time that I remembered. Gandalf! Tea! Oh, I must get another cup and saucer. Coming. I'm so sorry to have kept you.
Good afternoon. Dwalin the dwarf.
The dwarf? Oh.
At your service, excuse me.
Yes, hang your cloak on the peg. My name is Bilbo Baggins, B-A-G-G... Oh, yes, at your service.
Is that tea ready in there?
Yes, I was just going to...
Oh, these cakes look delicious. I'll have one or two if I may.
Oh, please do. Have three if you like. Excuse me. Good afternoon, Mr.
I see Dwalin's cloak hanging in your hall. I put mine next to it. Shall I?
Yes,
There. Balin, at your service.
thank you.
Balin? Yes. Come in here and have some tea. A little beer would suit me better, if it's all the same to you, my dear sir.
Well,
but I don't
really-
mind some cake, some seed cake, if you have any.
Lots. Go on in, yes.
Thank you, sir.
I'll... Oh, Gandalf for sure this time.
But this must be the house. The others here.
What can I do for you, my dwarves?
Keely, at your service.
And freely,
Oh, at yours and your families.
let us join the throng.
The throng? I don't like the sound of that.
Come on, Keely, bring your cloak up.
I can smell fresh cut bread and butter.
Goodness,
delicious.
Yes?
Nori, at your service. Nori, at your service.
Oh, yes,
Ori,
at
at your
yours.
service.
Owen, at your service.
Glory, at your service.
At yours and your... Oh, well, I suppose I'd better get out some more cups and saucers and plates and knives. Oh, if that's more dwarves, I'll... Mr. Gandalf.
Come, Bilbo, it's not like you to keep friends waiting on the doorstep and then open the door like a popgun.
Keep friends.
Let me introduce Befor, Buffor, and Bumbor.
At your service.
yes.
At your service.
At your service, yes.
And especially Tarin Oakenshield.
Baggins. Oh, at yours and your family.
Well, shall we go in? I think we must be the last to arrive.
The last, yes. Yes, of course. Frustrating to bother these dwarves. Mr. Gandalf, why have you brought all
Bilbo, you must not speak disrespectfully of these 13 dwarves, especially of Tarin.
Oh?
He is the great Tarin Oakenshield, grandson of their last king under the mountain.
King?
Come, let us join the merry gathering.
Oh, yes.
What's the prize, Floyd?
Dwarves ate and talked about mines and gold and trouble with goblins and the depredations of dragons and lots of other things which I didn't understand. And I didn't want to. They sounded much too adventurous. My appetite was quite taken away.
That was a very good tea, Mr. Baggins.
Best tea for weeks.
Oh, thank you, I suppose you will all stay to supper.
Of course. And after. Tarin Oakenshield, son of Thrain, gladly accept your kind invitation. We shall not get through the business till late, so first let's have some music. I trust you've all brought your instruments. Go get them. Come, boy. Please, emphatically conclude this. Come on. Right, now settle down, everybody. Settle down. Marlene, you ready? Now for our song. Far over the misty mountains cold, to dungeons deep and caverns old, we must away ere break of day to seek the pale enchanted gold. We must away ere break of day to seek the pale enchanted gold.
For ancient king and elvish lord, there many a gleaming golden hoard they shaped and wrought, and light they caught to hide in gems on hilt of sword. The bells were ringing in the dale, and men looked up with faces pale. The dragon's ire, more fierce than fire, laid low their towers and houses brave.
As they sang, I felt the love of beautiful things made by cunning and by magic arise within me. A fierce and jealous love, the desire of the hearts of dwarves. Oh, it must have been something tookish waking up inside me, for I wished to go and see the great mountains, and to see pine trees and waterfalls, and to carry a sword instead of a walking stick. Through the window, I could see the stars in a dark sky, and I thought of the jewels of the dwarves in their dark caverns. Suddenly, in the wood beyond the water, a flame leapt up. Well, probably somebody lighting a wood fire. And I thought of plundering dragons settling on my quiet hill and kindling it all to flames. Ugh.
Where are you going, Baggins?
Oh, what about a little light?
We like the dark,
Dark for dark business.
and there are many hours before dawn.
Oh, yes, of course. Of course. Yes. I'm so sorry.
Let Tareen speak.
Gandalf, dwarves, Mr. Baggins, we are met together in the house of our friend and fellow conspirator, this most excellent and audacious Hobbit.
Audacious?
May the hair on his toes never fall out. All praise to his wine and his ale. We are met to discuss our plans, our ways, means, policy, and devices. To the estimable Mr. Baggins, and perhaps to one or two of our younger dwarves, the exact situation at the moment may require a little brief explanation.
Yes.
We shall soon, before the break of day, start on our long journey. A journey from which some of us, perhaps all of us, except our friend and counselor, the ingenious wizard Gandalf, may never return.
Never return?
It is a solemn moment. Our object is, I take it, well known to all of us.
Never return!
Mr. Baggins, Mr. Baggins. He fainted.
Struck by lightning! Struck by lightning! Struck by lightning! Struck by lightning!
Excitable little fellow gets funny fits, but he is one of the best. As fierce as a dragon in a pinch.
But will he do you think?
Do what, Glowin?
Well, It's all very well for you to say this hobbit is fierce, but one shriek like that in a moment of excitement would be enough to wake the dragon and all his relatives and kill the lot of us. Yes. I think it sounded more like fright than excitement. As soon as I clapped eyes on the little fella bobbing and puffing on the mat, I had my doubts.
Gloin, let's have no more argument.
Argument? All I want to
You
say is...
all asked me to find a 14th for your expedition, and I chose Mr. Baggins.
Yes.
There is a lot more in him than you guess, and a deal more than he has any idea of himself. You may, or possibly, all live to thank me.
But
yet
if you
just
really think...
let anyone say that I chose the wrong man or the wrong house, and you can stop at 13 and have all the bad luck you like, or go back to digging coal. No more argument.
Yes. Well, first of all, I should like to know a little bit more about things.
Things?
Yes, things. I mean about the gold and the dragon and all that, and how it got there, and who it belongs to, and so on. And further.
Oh, bless me, didn't you hear our song? Haven't we been talking about all this for hours?
Yes, well, all the same, your Taurine, yes. I should like it all plain and clear. I mean, I should like to know about risks and out-of-pocket expenses, time required, remuneration, so forth.
Oh, very well. Long ago, in my grandfather's time, our family was driven out to the far north and came to a mountain called the Lonely Mountain. There they mined and tunneled and made huge halls and workshops, and in addition, I believe they found a good deal of gold and a great many jewels, too. They grew immensely rich and famous, and my grandfather was king under the mountain and was treated with great reverence by mortal men of the merry town of Dale. It was undoubtedly the gold and jewels which brought the dragon to the mountain and to Dale. Dragons steal treasures wherever they can find them and guard their plunder as long as they live, which is practically forever. There were lots of dragons in the north in those days, and one was a most especially greedy, strong, and wicked dragon called Smaug. Yes, Smaug. One day he flew up in the air and came south. The first we heard of it was a noise like a hurricane coming from the north, and the pine trees in the mountain creaked and cracking in the wind. We saw the dragon settle on the mountain in a spout of flame. And then he came down the slope, setting the woods all afire. By that time, all the bells were ringing in Dale, and the warriors were arming. The dwarves rushed out of their great gate, but there was the dragon waiting for them. None escaped that way. After that, there were no dwarves left alive inside the mountain, and the dragon kept all their wealth for himself. The only ones to escape were those of us who happened to be outside at the time. Since then, we have had to earn our livings as best we could up and down the lands, often sinking as low as blacksmith's work, and even coal mining. And even now, when I will allow we have a good bit laid by and are not so badly off, we still mean to get back our stolen treasure, and to bring back our curses to Smaug, if we can.
Yes, well, a little light now, I think. I want you all to look at something.
I'll get a lamp.
No need. My staff will serve the purpose.
Your staff?
Certainly. Nor an edrayathamen.
Oh, isn't it clever? That's quite extraordinary.
Now, everyone, what do you make of this?
Oh, the map of the mountain.
It is indeed, Gloin, a plan of the Lonely Mountain. And it was made by your grandfather, Taurine.
Let me see. I don't see that this is going to help us much. I remember the mountain well enough, and the lands around where the dragons bred.
There is one thing about the mountain that you do not know, and that is the secret entrance.
Where's that?
Look at these runes marked here.
Runes, Gandalf?
Runes are the ancient letters of a half-forgotten language. Now, that rune marks the secret entrance to a hidden passage.
So that's how my father and grandfather escaped from the dragon. How did you get hold of this map, Gandalf? Why did it not come down to me, the rightful heir?
I did not get hold of it. I was given it. Your grandfather was killed, you remember, in the mines of Moria by a goblin.
Curse the goblin, yes.
And your father went away on the 21st of April, 100 years ago last Thursday, and has never been seen by you since.
True, true.
Your grandfather gave this map to your father before he went away to the mines of Moria.
Eh?
After your grandfather was killed, your father went to try his luck and recover the treasure. And lots of adventures of a most unpleasant sort he had. But he never got near the Lonely Mountain.
And where did you find him?
How he got there, I don't know. But I found him a prisoner in the dungeons of the Necromancer.
Oh, no.
I tried to save your father, Taurine, but it was too late. He had completely lost his wits and had forgotten everything except the map. The only thing your father wished was for his son to read the map. Now, I've shown you the secret entrance.
It may have been secret once, but how do we know it's secret any longer? Old Smaug has lived there long enough to find out everything there is to know about those caves.
That may be so, but what it says on the map, I should guess there's a closed door which has been made to look exactly like the side of the mountain. That is the usual dwarves' method, is it not, Taurine?
Quite right.
Also, Taurine, I forgot to mention that with the map your father gave me this key.
A key?
Here. Take it.
It is of silver and most curiously wrought. Is it the key to the secret door?
Perhaps. Keep it safe.
Indeed, I will. Now things begin to look more hopeful. We must get on and make some plans.
At last.
I think we should go east. As quiet and careful as we can as far as the Long Lake. After that, trouble might begin.
That would be no good.
Why not?
It would be useless to face Smaug without a mighty warrior. I tried to find one, but all the warriors are busy fighting one another in distant lands.
Oh?
That is why I settled on burglary, especially when I realized the existence of the secret side door. And here is our little Bilbo Baggins, the burglar, the chosen and selected burglar.
Burglar?
If I say you are a burglar you are, or will be when the time comes.
Oh, very well then. Supposing burglar expert gives us some ideas or suggestions.
Yes, well,
Well, speak up.
well, don't you know, I think we've talked long enough for one night, if you see what I mean. What about bed? And an early start and all that? I will give you a good breakfast before you go.
Before we go, you mean Bilbo Baggins? Before we go.
I went to sleep with the dwarf's song running round in my head, and it gave me very uncomfortable dreams.
It was long after the break of day when the little hobbit woke up, put on his dressing gown, and went into the kitchen.
That's better. I think, just one more piece of toast, I think. And then...
My dear Philip.
Oh, gone down.
Whenever are you going to come? What about that early start?
Early start?
Here
What are you talking about?
you are having breakfast or whatever you call it at 10:30. The dwarves left you the message because they couldn't wait.
Message? What message? What are you talking
Great
about?
Oliphant, you ought to told yourself this morning. I can tell that you haven't dusted the mantelpiece.
Dusted the mantelpiece? Oh, I don't know what that's got to do with it. I've had enough trouble with all the washing up for 14.
If you had dusted the mantelpiece, you would have found this under the clock.
Comes on. Oh, a note. On my notepaper, too. Taurine and Company to Burglar Bilbo, greeting. For your hospitality and for your offer of professional assistance, our thanks and grateful acceptance. Terms, cash on delivery, up to and not exceeding 1/14 of total profits. If any, yes. All travelling expenses guaranteed, funeral expenses to be defrayed by us and... Funeral expenses? By us or our representatives if occasion arises. Thinking it unnecessary to disturb your esteemed repose, we have proceeded in advance to make preparations and shall await your respected person at the Green Dragon in Bywater at 11 a.m. sharp, trusting that you will be punctual. We have the honour to remain yours deeply, Taurine and Company. Well,
That leaves you just 10 minutes. You'll have to run. No time for it.
Yes, but
no time for that either. Off you go.
To the end of his days, Bilbo could never remember how he found himself outside, without a hat or walking stick or any money. He'd left his breakfast unfinished, had pushed his keys into Gandalf's hand, and found himself running as fast as his furry feet would carry him, down the lane, past the mill, and across the water.
Yes, and very puffed I was, too, when I got to Bywater on the stroke of 11, and then found that I was without my pipe and tobacco, and without a pocket handkerchief.
Here he is, right on time. Bravo, Mr. Baggins. We've just finished loading the ponies.
Ponies? But, Martin, I've never rid a pony in my life.
You will soon get used to it. Up you get.
Oh, no.
Give him a hand, Keely, and feel it.
It's awfully high. I could fall off and hurt myself. Yeah, in any case, I'm afraid I've left my pocket handkerchief behind, and my hat, and I haven't got any money.
Yeah, you'll have to manage without a good many things before you reach journey's end, my little friend. Oh, as for a hat, I have a spare cloak and hood in my luggage.
Oh, how convenient.
Here's Gandalf.
Here you are, Bilbo. Oh, my pipe, yes. And my tobacco. That's very thoughtful of you, Mr. Gandalf.
Some pocket handkerchief.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
And now, the adventure starts. My friends, off we go!
Yes, but where, Thorin?
Where, my little hobbit? Why, there and back again. Far over the misty mountains cold, through dungeons deep and caverns old, we must await every day to seek the pale enchanted gold. The adventure starts. My friends, off we go!
Yes, but where, Thorin?
Where, my little hobbit? Why, there and back again. Far over the misty mountains cold, through dungeons deep and caverns old, we must await every day to seek the pale enchanted gold.
And they rode along very merrily all day.
Yeah, except, of course, when we stopped for meals. And although these didn't come quite as often as I would have liked, I began to feel that perhaps adventures weren't so bad after all.
After a time, they came to places where people spoke strangely and sang songs which Bilbo had not heard before. The roads grew worse, and inns were rare and not good. Also the weather, which had often been as good as May can be, even in tales and legends, took a turn for the worse.
Hold hard, ponies! It's growing dark, my friends. The wind is rising. We shan't reach an inn for hours, perhaps not at all. So we must stop here for the night. Dismount, everyone!
Where shall we get a dry patch to sleep on?
We probably shan't, Balin. We shall just have to make do.
Perhaps Gandalf can help us. Where is he?
I thought he was with you. Dwalin, have you seen Gandalf?
No, Thorin, I haven't seen him for 2 hours.
Keely, Feely, Glowin, any of you? I wonder where he's got to.
Just when a wizard would have been most useful, too.
Thorin! Over there, through the trees, a light.
Oh, where? Oh, yes, I see it. It looks like a fire.
Maybe it's torches. No, it is a fire.
Let's go and see. No, I'm not going to sit here all night.
I think Mr. Baggins ought to go and explore the lights.
Yes, very good idea. Good idea.
After all, he is the burglar. Gandalf said so.
Well, I know he said so, but...
Good idea, Barlin. Mr. Baggins,
Yes?
you must go and find out all about that light and what it is for, and if all is perfectly safe and canny.
Oh, but I really...
Now, scuttle off.
But I'm not...
And come back quick if all is well.
What?
If not, come back if you can. And
I can, but I
if you can't, hoot twice like a barn owl, once like a screech owl.
don't know the difference between a barn owl
And
and
we
a...
will do what we can.
Off you go, Mr. Baggins.
But I don't know how to hoot. But I don't know the difference.
Get along there, Baggins.
I can't hoot. I don't know anything of Oh, dear. Dear. Oh. Very well. If Gandalf says I'm the burglar, I suppose I ought to be the one to go. Oh, well, even if I can't hoot, at least I can move about quietly in the woods. That's one thing we hobbits pride ourselves on. We can move absolutely quietly. None of that dwarvish racket, huh? Now, where's his light? Oh, yes, I can see it quite clearly now. It's definitely a fire with three creatures sitting round it. It's as if they're toasting meat. With their fingers? What are they? They're shaped like huge men, but they've got great, heavy, ugly faces and strange-shaped arms and legs. Oh, trolls.
Mutton yesterday, mutton today, and blimey if it don't look like mutton tomorrow.
Never a blinking bit of man flesh we've had for long enough.
Yeah.
Shut your mouth, Tom.
Hey,
And
what
you,
about-
William. You've had a village and a half between you since we come down from the mountains.
Yeah.
How much more do you want?
Here, Tom, bird,
What is it, William?
don't look round, but just behind you, there's a little hand coming out from under the bushes, just about to make off with one of our choicest cuts. Looks as though it might be a pesky dwarf.
A dwarf? Right. I'll count to 3, and we'll jump him. 1, 2, 3.
Got him!
What is it, Bill?
Let me if I knows. What are you? Stop making that racket. What are you?
Bilbo Baggins, B-A-G-G-I-N, a hobbit.
A burrow hobbit? What's that then? Can you cook 'em? You can try.
No, but he wouldn't make above a mouthful. Not when he was skinned and boned.
Oh,
Perhaps there are more like him around and we can make a pie.
oh, no, please. Please don't cook me, kind sirs. I'm a very good cook myself, you know. And I cook better than I cook. if you see what I mean.
Poor little blighter. Let's let him go.
Oh, yes.
You're a fat fool, William, as I've said before this evening.
Oh, yeah? Well, you're a lout, bird huggins.
Oh, am I? Once your manners, and you and all.
Well, you are straight this time. Come on, Tom.
This, of course, would have been the time for Bilbo to leave, but his poor feet had been so squashed in the troll's big hand that he could only lie bruised and panting where he'd been thrown when the fight started, just outside the circle of firelight.
Mr. Baggins. Bilbo, are you all right?
Quiet.
Sounds like another of them.
Where are you? Mr. Baggins.
Get it, boys.
Darling.
I'll get a sack.
That's all, Master Dwarf. Here, bird. One tasty dwarf.
Want me to hold him while I tie the dog? There's a lot more to come yet, or I might have missed.
And so there were. As each dwarf came up to the fire looking for Balin and Bilbo, a smelly sack was thrust over his head. Soon Dwalin lay by Balin, Dory by Nori and Ori, Oin by Gloin, Beefur and Beaufort by Bombor, and little Keely and Feely in one sack together both.
I could only watch helplessly as even Torin succumbed to the troll's great weight and strength.
Stand away! I am Torin!
That little scrap made me hungry. Let's roast him now.
Ah, take on now.
But I'm hungry.
You've just had a great meal of mutton.
Shut up arguing. Hey? Who's arguing? You are. You're a liar. Don't come on now, boys. We've had enough fighting for one night. I say we sit on the sacks one by one to squash them. Let's do that now and then boil them in the big saucepan. Yeah, all right then.
Who shall we sit on first?
Let's squash the last one first. He's the biggest.
No, the biggest one, the blue stockings, was grey.
They wasn't grey, Willem. They was yellow. Oh, yeah, you're right, Tom. They was yellow. And what did you say they was grey? I didn't. Who said they was grey? I never did. That was you. 2 to 1, so shut your mouth. Who are you talking to? Stop it. The night's getting on, so let's get to it. The dawn comes early.
Dawn take you all and be stoned to you.
What's that ringing me?
Gandalf? Oh, over here.
Bilbo, are you hurt?
No, I'm just a bit bruised and winded. I'll be all right in a few minutes. The dwarves are all tied up in those sacks.
Yes, we'd better let them out before they suffocate.
Another few minutes, we would have all been squashed and boiled.
Bombur! Wake up! You're out of your sack now. Out you come. There you are. And you. Come on, little ones. You're free now.
But what happened to the trolls, Gandalf? Yes, well, what did you do?
They seemed to turn to stone.
That is exactly what did happen, my dear Bilbo. I thought everyone knew that for trolls, daylight is death. They must be underground before dawn, or they go back to the stone of the mountains they're made of and never move again.
So it was your voice that made them keep arguing until the dawn came.
Exactly, Balin. I thought the impersonation very convincing, did you?
It certainly was.
Oh, Gandalf.
Yes?
The trolls must have had a cave or a hole nearby to hide from the sun in.
Quite right, Torin. We must look for it.
Their tracks shouldn't be hard to find or follow.
Torin!
Hey.
Gandalf! Over here!
Oh, come on, everyone! Quick, over here, this way!
Come on! There. You can see the trail going up the hill.
I'll lead with Balin. The rest of you follow.
Gandalf? Gandalf?
Yes, my hobbit.
Please don't think that I'm criticizing Mr. Gandalf, but where did you get to during our encounter with these trolls?
Yes, I'd like to know that too. Where were you?
Looking ahead.
And what brought you back in the nick of time, eh?
Looking behind.
Oh, yes, of course.
Torin, we found the cave.
Good, Wallen. Good.
You can see where the tracks lead right to the door.
But be careful, everyone. Make sure it's all clear.
Excellent. Let us go in.
It's big safe.
Now. Ooh, what a horrible smell.
Look at all those buttons and that food and ale. They are gold. Thousands and thousands of golden buttons.
Look! These swords. They have jeweled hilts and the most beautiful scabbards.
They look like good blades. They were not made by any troll, nor by any smith among men in these parts and days. I should know more about them if I could read the runes on them. Take them with you.
We will.
I wonder, could I have a... They all look a bit big to me. Oh, this little one. This little knife. Just the right size for me. I'll take that.
What about the gold?
Yes, what about the gold?
Oh, we can hide the gold in a safe place against our return. Now let us eat and drink our fill.
After which they slept, for their night had been disturbed somewhat, and their struggle with the trolls had made them very tired. Then they buried the gold, loaded up the ponies with fresh supplies from the trolls' bread and cheese and bacon and ale, and jogged along again on the path towards the east.
Next few days were uneventful, but we began to feel that danger was never very far away. We forded a river, and from the top of the far bank, we looked down over a green valley, on the far side of which lay the misty mountains.
You are now come to the very edge of the wild. Ahead of us is the fair valley of Rivendell, where Elrond Half-Elven lives in the last homely house. We are expected...
Is Elrond an elf?
No, Bilbo, he is an elf friend, which is good enough for our purposes.
It smells like elves. It is elves.
Yes.
Where? Oh, you won't see them unless they want you to.
Well, just look. Bilbo the Hobbit on a pony. Isn't it delicious? Most astonishing wonder. Welcome to the valley.
Thank you.
Have they nothing better to do than laugh at us?
Well, I think they sound enchanting.
We dwarves never really get on with elves. Elves are too full of themselves, if you ask me, just because they have more magic than us.
You are a little out of your way. If you are making for the only path across the water and to the house beyond, we will set you right. But you had best get on foot until you are over the bridge. Don't dip your beard in the foam, Father.
Magic yourself off.
My Bilbo doesn't eat all the cake.
Feckless elves!
Be quiet, Thorin. We shall soon arrive at the last homely house. Good night, good people. Valleys have ears, and some of you have over-merry tongues. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, good night.
Good night, elves.
You said that Elrond was an elf
Bilbo
friend.
Baggins, that curiosity of yours will land you in a lot of trouble one day.
Oh, Dad, I really asked
There
you
are
that.
still some people who have both elves and heroes of the North for ancestors, and Elrond Half-Elven is their chief. He lives now in the last homely house, and never was there a more apt name. There, see? There it is. Thorin, knock on the doors.
Welcome to my house. Enter.
Elrond was as noble and as fair in face as an elf lord, as strong as a warrior, as wise as a wizard, as venerable as a king of dwarves, and as kind as summer. His house was perfect, whether you liked work,
Or sleep.
storytelling, or singing, or just sitting and thinking.
Or eating.
The adventurers stayed at the last homely house for 14 days, until Midsummer's Day. It was hard to leave. Bilbo would have gladly stopped there forever. Gandalf had still not been able to discover the meaning of the runes on the trolls' swords. So, on the eve of their departure, he asked Elrond what they might mean.
These swords are not troll-make. They are old, very old, made by the elves of Gondolin for the Goblin Wars. They must have come from a dragon horde or goblin plunder, for dragons and goblins destroyed Gondolin long ago. This sword, Thorin, according to the runes on the hilt, is called Orcrist, the Goblin Slayer. It was a famous blade. Yours, Gandalf, is Glamdring.
Glamdring, the foe hammer. Then this was once worn by the King of Gondolin himself.
Indeed it was. Orcrist and Foehammer. 2 ancient and powerful weapons. Keep them well.
I will keep this sword in honor. May Orcus soon cleave goblins once again.
I do not know that I altogether approve of the fierce love of gold which you dwarves profess. But Smaug must be destroyed, and the merry town of Dale avenged. So I will see if I can help. Show me your map, Thorin. Gandalf tells me it was made by your grandfather. The plain runes indicating the secret door in the side of the mountain say 5 feet high the door and 3 may walk abreast.
Is there anything else that the map can tell us?
I'm not sure. Let me take it to the window. Now then. Yes, I thought as much.
Moon letters?
Yes.
What are moon letters?
Moon letters, Bilbo, are runes which can be seen only when the paper on which they are written is held up to the moon.
Oh, thank you.
Fortunately, there is a moon tonight.
Yes, I see, but
Bilbo.
what do you...
The moon letters read, "Stand by the grey stone when the thrush knocks, and the setting sun with the last light of Durin's day will shine upon the keyhole."
Well, what's Durin's day?
Durin was the ancestor of my grandpa. We call it Durin's Day when the last moon of autumn and the sun are in the sky together. But this hidden message will not help us, since it passes our skill nowadays to guess when Durin's Day will occur next. It may not be for hundreds of years.
That remains to be seen. Is there any more writing, Elrond?
None to be seen by this moon. Now, my esteemed friends, let us watch the elves dance and make merry on this midsummer's eve. There will be songs and speeches, and the people of the valley will outbid each other to do you honor and wish you good speed. It will hearten you for the next stage of your journey.
Now, Mr. Gandalf.
Midsummer's morning held out as much promise as the night had been gay. Blue sky with never a cloud and the sun dancing on the water. Gandalf and the dwarves and burglar Baggins took their leave of the fair people of Rivendell and started up the foothills of the ominous Misty Mountains. Long days after they had climbed out of the valley and had left the last homely house, they were still going up and up. It was a hard path and a dangerous path, a crooked way, lonely and long.
Far away in the west, where things looked blue and faint, I knew that there somewhere lay my own country of safe and comfortable things, and my cozy hobbit hole.
It became bitter cold, and the adventurers were comfortless and chilled.
Especially at night, when we dared not sing or talk too loud, for the echoes were uncanny, and the silence seemed to dislike being broken, except by the wail of wind and the smashing of boulders down the hillsides, loosened, or so Gandalf said, by melting snows on the heights above.
Look at those thunderclouds ahead, Thorin. The storm will be on us soon, and a great storm it will be too, if I am not mistaken.
But a storm can't hurt us.
Perhaps not, but it may well frighten the ponies, and you can't afford to have them running amok on this narrow path. Look at the drop.
That's true.
Also, the storm may bring the stone giants out. If we get in the way of one of their boulders, it'll be the end of you.
Balin! Dwalin! Go on ahead and see if you can find some shelter. Perhaps there's a cave or even a cliff edge we can crawl under. This won't do at all. If we don't get blown off or drowned or struck by lightning, we shall be picked up by some stone giant and kicked sky high for a football.
And I have a feeling that this storm has not come upon us by accident. You must get under cover as soon as possible.
Tareen,
Yes?
Tareen, we found a cave just around the next corner. It's big enough for all of us, even the ponies.
Oh, good word! Everyone follow Barlin and Dwalin! Oh, well done, Barlin and Dwalin. Why, it's a splendid cave. Dry as a bone, too.
And not too large and mysterious. Let's get right inside and light a fire.
No.
Yes. But we are cold and wet through.
No fires be rolled by me. I will give you a light from my staff. Nar en edraethamen.
I'm so tired.
Aye, Feely, and so we all. Let us do as Gandalf says and rest. As soon as the storm passes over, we must all be on our way. Let's hope that when the thunder and lightning goes, the stone giants will go too. Or we shall never get out of here.
I'm slipping. I'm slipping. I'm slipping. I'm slipping. Oh, I'm slipping. I can't hold on. I can't hold on. Oh, I'm slipping. Oh, I'm falling. I'm falling. Oh, what a horrible dream. I dreamt that there was a crack in the wall at the back of the cave, which got bigger and bigger, opening wider and wider, and I was too frightened to cry or to call out. Oh, dear. What's that? What's that? Oh, there is a crack. It's as wide as a passage. My dreams come true. Or was it a dream at all? Oh. Where are the ponies going? Goblins!
Take them alive! Take them alive!
Look out, Gandalf!
Struggle all you want to, dwarves.
You are outnumbered 6 to 1!
Take them inside. Close the door. Everyone through.
Everyone through!
Get along, dwarves, and hurry.
Bilbo! Where's Gandalf?
I don't know. I just saw 4 goblins rush to take him prisoner. When he raised his staff, there was a blinding flash, and the goblins fell dead.
Ah, good. But what happened to Gandalf?
I don't know. He just vanished.
Vanished? Where to?
I don't know. Oh, I don't know. Oh, Gandalf. Gandalf, where are you? Oh, where are you?